The grand hall of the Galactic Council shone with a soft blue light. Tall windows showed the stars beyond, and around the curved table sat beings from 100 different worlds. Today was special. Earth was joining the council. Ambassador Hansu walked into the room with perfect calm. His black suit was clean and pressed, making him look sharp and professional. Behind him, his team carried boxes wrapped in traditional Korean silk cloths. "Welcome, Earth delegation," said the council leader, a tall being with green skin. "We are happy to begin this historic meeting." Hansu bowed slightly and smiled. "We bring gifts from Earth. Our team has prepared a traditional feast to share our culture." The aliens watched with interest as Hansu's team unpacked the boxes. The sweet smell of grilled meat filled the air. Several council members sniffed curiously, then backed away in shock. Is that the flesh of a predator?" asked Kinam, a rabbit-like being whose long ears were now standing straight up in alarm. "Yes," Hansu said proudly. "Grilled shark meat, a delicacy from our oceans. We also have tiger fish, lionfish, and bear soup." The room went completely silent. Then chaos broke out. "They eat predators. How is this possible? Are they monsters? What kind of beings are they?" Kinam tried to keep order, but his own paws were shaking. In all his years as a council member, he had never heard of any species that ate meat from apex predators. Hansu looked confused. He turned to his assistant. "Did we do something wrong?" Before anyone could answer, a young alien scientist named Devour stepped forward. Unlike the others, her eyes showed interest rather than fear. "You regularly hunt and eat the top predators of your world." "Of course," Hansu said. "Humans eat all kinds of food. We're very adaptable." Devour pulled out a data pad and started taking notes. "Fascinating. And these predators, they are large, dangerous." Hansu smiled and pulled out his tablet. "Let me show you." The room's main screen lit up with videos. Humans fishing for great white sharks, traditional tiger hunts from history, and modern hunting expeditions. With each new image, the alien council members grew more pale. "Look at how they chase down these mighty beasts," Devour said with growing excitement. "They're not even afraid." Kinam found his voice again. "Ambassador Hansu, you mean to tell us that humans regularly hunt, kill, and eat the most dangerous creatures on your planet, for fun?" "Well, not just for fun," Hansu explained. "It's part of our culture, our history. Some of these dishes are considered great honors to serve to guests." He looked at the untouched plates of food. "We thought sharing our food would be a good way to build friendship." The council members looked at each other nervously. They had expected humans to be like other newly discovered species, careful, nervous, eager to please. Instead, they had found beings who casually hunted and ate creatures that most species in the galaxy feared. As the meeting ended, Kinam watched Hansu's team pack up the untouched food. He couldn't help but wonder. If humans treated apex predators as food, how would they view the rest of the galaxy? In the corner, Devour was still taking notes, her eyes bright with curiosity. One thing was clear: the arrival of humans was going to change everything. 1 week after the first contact, the new human embassy hosted a special dinner. Chef Jiho stood in his kitchen, proud of the meals he had prepared. The walls gleamed with clean steel, and the air smelled of spices and grilled meat. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Sumin asked, watching Jiho plate the food. She was the youngest diplomat on Earth's team, and she worried about scaring their guests again. "Food brings people together," Jiho said with a smile. He carefully placed a piece of grilled shark on each plate. "Besides, they need to understand who we are." The dining room filled with alien diplomats. They sat nervously at the long table, their many different shapes and sizes making the special chairs creak. Some had scales, others had fur, but they all shared the same worried look. Ambassador Hansu stood at the head of the table. "Tonight, we share with you the finest dishes from Earth. Chef Jiho has worked hard to make this meal special. The first course came out, shark fin soup. The aliens watched in shock as the humans happily ate their soup. Some alien diplomats took tiny tastes, their eyes growing wide. "This predator," one scaled diplomat said. "You caught it in your oceans." "Yes," Jiho said proudly. "I picked this shark myself. It was 3 times my size." Several aliens nearly fell from their chairs. Su-min quickly stepped in to explain. "On Earth, humans learned to hunt very early in our history," she said. "We weren't the strongest or fastest, but we were smart and worked together. We learned to catch anything we wanted to eat." The main course arrived. Tiger meat with special sauce. Jiho had cooked it perfectly. The humans ate with joy, while the aliens watched with a mix of fear and amazement. "But how do you kill such dangerous creatures?" asked a small furry diplomat. "They could eat you." Han Su laughed. "Sometimes they try. But humans are very good at hunting. We learn to make tools, set traps, and work as teams. Now we have even better ways to catch them." Demai, the alien scientist from the council, was there too. She couldn't stop taking notes. "Remarkable. Your species turned the most feared creatures into food. This changes everything we thought we knew about evolution." As the dinner went on, some brave aliens tried the food. Their faces showed surprise. It was delicious. Even Ki-nam, the nervous rabbit-like council member, took a small bite. "I must admit," Ki-nam said, "this is not what I expected. But I'm still worried. If humans can eat apex predators, what else can they do?" Su-min smiled kindly. "We're not dangerous to friends. Humans protect those we care about. That's why we're joining the Galactic Council, to be part of something bigger." Near the end of dinner, Jiho brought out dessert, ice cream. The aliens were relieved to see something sweet and cold. As they enjoyed it, the mood in the room began to change. The fear turned into curiosity. But across the galaxy, news was spreading. Stories about the humans who ate predators for dinner reached every planet. Some species were terrified. Others were fascinated. A few began to wonder if humans might be useful allies. In the kitchen after dinner, Jiho cleaned his knives while humming. "See," he said to Su-min, "food always brings people together." Su-min nodded, but she knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was changing, and humans were the cause. She wondered what would happen next. Demai sat in her lab, staring at the human tissue samples through her scanner. After 3 days of non-stop work, she still couldn't believe what she was seeing. "Tawu, come look at this," she called to her research partner. The young scientist hurried over, his data pad ready. "Their digestive system is amazing," Demai said, pointing to the screen. "Humans can eat almost anything. Their stomach acid is so strong it can break down bone." Tawu nodded, adding more notes to his growing file. "And look at their teeth. They're not like any other species we know. They can tear meat, crush plants, and grind tough foods." The lab was filled with screens showing human hunting videos. One screen played a video of humans chasing a deer until it got tired. Another showed humans fishing for giant sea creatures. "Most species pick one way to eat," Demai explained to the other scientists who had gathered around. "Some eat only plants. Some eat only small animals. But humans? They eat everything." A message popped up on her screen. It was from an Earth scientist, sending more data about human history. Demai opened the files and gasped. "Look at this," she said. "Early humans used to chase big animals until they got tired. They called it persistence hunting. They would follow their prey for days." Tawu looked up from his work. "Days? But most predators give up if they don't catch their prey quickly." "Not humans," Demai said. "They just keep going. They can run for longer than almost any other animal because their bodies are good at staying cool." The lab door opened, and Ki-nam walked in. The council member still looked nervous around anything related to humans, but he needed to know what the scientists had found. "What have you learned?" he asked. Damay showed him the data. Humans are remarkable. They can eat foods that would kill other species. They can chase prey until it gives up. And look at this, they can throw things really far and accurately. No other species can do that. Kinam's ears twitched. "Are you saying they're some kind of super predator?" "Not exactly," Taiwu said. "They're not the strongest or fastest, but they're smart. They work together, and they never give up. That's what makes them dangerous to other predators." Damay pulled up more images on the big screen. They showed humans using tools to hunt, cooking with fire, and preserving food. "The most interesting thing," she said, "is how they share food. They don't just hunt for themselves. They hunt for their whole group and even save food for later." Kinam watched the screens with growing worry. "Should we be concerned?" "I don't think so," Damay said. "Humans are predators, yes, but they're also protectors. They take care of their own kind and help others. They could be very useful allies." Just then, another message came in. A different alien species, known for attacking others, was heading toward Council space. They were aggressive predators that no one had been able to stop. Damay looked at her research, then at Kinam. "Maybe this is a chance to see what humans can really do." Kinam nodded slowly. If any species could face these attackers, it might be the strange humans who ate apex predators for dinner. In her notes, Damay wrote one final line. "Humans, not the strongest, not the fastest, but perhaps the most determined species in the galaxy." Red lights flashed in the Galactic Council chamber. On the main screen, a large ship shaped like a claw moved through space. It belonged to the Razors, a species of space predators that attacked other ships. "They've destroyed 3 trading posts," Kinam said, his voice shaking. "No one can stop them. They eat their victims." The council members looked scared. Some hid under their seats. Others tried to leave the room. Then Ambassador Hansu stood up. "How big are these Razors?" he asked calmly. 3 times the size of humans," Kinam said. "They have sharp claws and tough armor. Why do you ask?" Hansu smiled. "On Earth, we have a saying. The bigger they are, the harder they fall." He pressed a button on his communicator. "Captain Yunho, please come to the council chamber." A few minutes later, a woman in a dark blue uniform walked in. Captain Yunho looked strong and confident. She carried a tablet showing pictures of Earth's Navy ships. "You want us to hunt the Razors?" she asked after Hansu explained. "Hunt them." Several council members shouted. "They're the most dangerous predators in space." Yunho looked at the pictures of the Razor ships. "They're big, they're scary, and they eat their prey. Sounds like sharks to me. We know how to deal with those." She pulled up more images on the big screen. They showed human ships designed for hunting in space. "We'll need 10 ships, fast ones, and we need to know where the Razors like to hunt." Damay, who was there to study the Razors, stepped forward. "They attack ships in this area." She pointed to a map. "They hide in asteroid fields and jump out at their prey." "Perfect," Yunho said. "Just like ambush predators on Earth. We can use that against them." The captain turned to her crew, who had just arrived. "Listen up. We're going hunting. Jinnah, you'll lead our scout ships. We'll use the same tricks we use to catch great whites." Jinnah, the best navigator in the fleet, nodded. She was already thinking about how to track the Razors through space. "But what if they catch you?" a small alien asked. "Then they'll learn something interesting," Yunho said with a smile. "Humans aren't easy prey. We're predators too. We just hide it better." Over the next hour, Yunho and her team made plans. They would use small ships as bait. Other ships would hide nearby, ready to trap the Razors when they attacked. It was like ocean hunting, but in space. "This is crazy," Kinam said to Hansu. Your people are going to hunt the hunters. It's what we do best, Hansu replied. For thousands of years, humans learned to hunt the most dangerous animals on Earth. Now we'll do it in space. Captain Yunho finished her planning and stood tall. We leave in 1 hour. The Razors think they're the top predators here. Time to show them they're wrong. As the human ships prepared to leave, Damai watched with excitement. Her research had shown how special humans were, but now everyone would see it. The last thing the council saw was Captain Yunho's ship, named Great White, leading the fleet into space. For the first time since the Razors appeared, there was hope. In the empty council chamber, Kinam looked at Hansu. Your people really aren't afraid. Oh, we're afraid, Hansu said. We just don't let fear stop us. That's what makes humans different. The human ships floated quietly in space. Captain Yunho watched the stars from her command chair. Her ship, the Great White, was hidden behind a large asteroid. Any sign of them? She asked quietly, even though the Razors couldn't hear through space. Jinnah checked her screens. Nothing yet, Captain. But this is their hunting ground. They'll come. The trap was set. 3 small trading ships moved slowly through space. They looked like easy prey, but they were really human ships in disguise. Remember when we used to put fake seals in the water to catch great whites? Yunho smiled. Same trick, different ocean. Suddenly, Jinnah's screen lit up. Movement. 3 Razor ships coming from the dark side of the big asteroid. Everyone watched as the huge, claw-shaped ships moved toward the bait. They looked scary, with sharp points and dark metal sides. The Razors thought they were the hunters. Wait for it, Yunho said calmly. Let them get closer. Just like fishing. We need them to take the bait. The Razor ships moved in. They were almost touching the small human ships. Then Yunho gave the signal. Now. 10 human ships jumped out from behind different asteroids. They switched on strong energy nets, just like the nets they used to catch sharks on Earth. The Razor ships tried to run, but they were trapped. Got them, Jinnah shouted. The crew cheered. But one Razor ship was bigger than the others. It broke through the net and turned to fight. Its weapons started firing at the Great White. They want to fight. Yunho smiled. Okay. Let's fight. Jinnah, show them how humans hunt. The Great White moved fast, dodging the Razor's attacks. It was like a dance in space. The huge Razor ship kept missing, while the human ship got closer and closer. They're not used to prey that fights back, Jinnah said. They don't know what to do. Yunho pressed a button on her chair. This is Captain Yunho of Earth. You are caught. Surrender now. The Razor ship fired again, missing badly. They're panicking, Jinnah said, like a shark in a net. Then let's end this. Yunho gave the order. All 10 human ships fired special nets at once. The big Razor ship couldn't move anymore. For the first time, they heard the Razor's voice. It sounded surprised and scared. What are you? Prey is not supposed to hunt hunters. We're humans, Yunho said simply. And we've been hunting predators since before we could write. You're not special. The Razors surrendered. They had never met a species that could trap them like this. As the human ships led their catch back to the council space, Jinnah looked at her captain. What do we do with them now? First, we study them, Yunho said. Then maybe we'll invite them to dinner. The crew laughed. They knew human history. Sometimes the best way to make peace was to share a meal, even if that meal was made from predators. When they got back, the council was amazed. No one had ever caught the Razors before, but the humans had done it using simple hunting tricks from Earth. Damai wrote in her notes, humans don't just eat apex predators. They turn them into friends or food. The galaxy will never be the same. Captain Yunho looked at her catch with pride. The hunt was over, but humanity's story in the galaxy was just beginning. Chef Jiho stood in his kitchen, looking at something new. The Razor scientists had sent him samples of their captured ship's food stores. His eyes lit up with excitement. "This meat," he said to Sumin, who was watching nervously. "It's like space shark. We can cook this." Sumin's eyes went wide. "You want to cook the razor's food? Won't that make them angrier?" "No, no," Jaiho smiled. "We'll invite them to eat with us. Food brings peace, remember." In the council chamber, Ambassador Hansu presented this strange idea. "We invite the captured razor leaders to a peace dinner. Chef Jaiho will prepare their food in human style." The council members looked shocked. Ki Nam spoke first. "You want to eat their hunting trophies in front of them?" "Yes," Hansu said. "On Earth, sharing food is a way to show respect, even between old enemies." That evening, the dining room was very tense. 3 razor leaders sat at the table, their sharp claws clicking nervously. They were still scared after being caught by the humans. Around them sat council members, human diplomats, and Captain Yunho's crew. Jaiho brought out the first dish, space shark sashimi, he announced. "Very fresh, served with special sauce." The razors watched in amazement as the humans ate their praise meat raw. Some council members hid under their napkins. "This is what you do with caught prey?" one razor asked. "You don't just eat it right after hunting." "Oh no," Jaiho explained. "Humans make hunting catches into art. Every culture on Earth has special ways to cook predator meat." The main course came next. Jaiho had cooked the space meat in Korean style, with rich sauce and side dishes. The smell made everyone hungry, even the scared council members. Slowly, one razor leader picked up a piece with his claws. He tasted it, and his eyes got big. This is our prey," he said, "but it tastes amazing." Soon all 3 razors were eating happily. They had never thought about cooking their food this way. Next to them, Captain Yunho enjoyed her meal while telling hunting stories. "You hunt like us," another razor said to her, "but you're so small." "Humans don't need to be big," Yunho explained. "We use our minds, and we work together." As they ate, the tension went away. The razors asked questions about human hunting. The council members slowly came out from under their napkins. Even Ki Nam tried some food. "This is unprecedented," Delmai said, taking notes. "Humans have turned feared predators into dinner guests." Near the end of the meal, the lead razor stood up. Everyone got nervous, but he just bowed like he had seen the humans do. "We have been humbled," he said. "You hunt better than us, and you make better food than us. Perhaps we can learn from each other." Hansu stood and bowed back. That's why humans joined the galaxy community, to share and learn. Later that night, as Jaiho cleaned his kitchen, Sumin helped him. "I can't believe it worked," she said. "You made peace with space predators through food." "Food always works," Jaiho said. "Now help me plan next week's menu. The razors want to learn how to cook." The news spread across the galaxy. Humans hadn't just caught the mighty razors, they had turned them into friends over dinner. Some species were still scared, but others began to understand. Humans weren't just predators who ate predators. They were something new, hunters who could make peace through food. 1 year after the first human contact, the Galactic Council looked very different. Ambassador Hansu sat at the main table, and next to him was a razor representative. They were discussing plans for a joint space patrol. "The humans have changed everything," Ki Nam said to Damai, watching from their seats. "Who would have thought those predator-eating creatures would make the galaxy peaceful?" The biggest change was in the council's dining hall. Chef Jaiho now ran a school there, teaching cooking to different species. Even the razors had their own cooking class. No, Jaiho said to a young razor student. "Don't just bite it. Feel the texture, taste the spices. Cooking is an art." The student nodded, carefully using his claws to slice the meat like Jaiho showed him. Other aliens watched in wonder as former enemies learned to cook together. Sumin walked into the hall with exciting news. "The first intergalactic cooking competition is ready. We have teams from 20 different worlds." The competition was Hansu's idea. If species could cook together, they could live together. The grand prize would be Earth's best cooking secrets. "Look at this," Dumai said, showing Keenam her research. "Since humans joined us, space pirate attacks are down by 80%. Everyone's afraid the humans will hunt them down and eat their food." Captain Yunho's success had made humans famous. Now her ships protected trade routes. Some pirates surrendered just hearing her ship's name. Others asked to learn human hunting techniques. In the council chamber, Hansu stood to make an announcement. "Earth will open 3 new cooking schools in space. All species are welcome to learn, even predators." Some council members laughed. A year ago, they were terrified of humans. Now they wanted to cook like them. "And the razors?" someone asked. The razor representative stood up. He wore a chef's apron over his armored body. "We will teach hunting, and the humans will teach cooking. Together, we will make new foods for everyone." Jinnah, now leading her own ship, sent regular reports of peace in space. Pirates became traders. Predators learned to cook. The galaxy was changing. "Humans are strange," Keenam said to Domai. "They hunt the most dangerous creatures, but they use food to make peace. That's what makes them special," Domai replied. "They can be fierce hunters or gentle teachers. They change to help others change." The day ended with a big dinner. Species that once fought now sat together, sharing food and stories. Chef Jiho watched proudly as his students served meals they had cooked. Next week, Jiho announced, "We learn Earth's barbecue techniques." The room cheered. Even the razors clapped their claws. They had learned that cooked food tasted better than raw prey. Hansu looked around the room, smiling. Humans had found their place in the galaxy. They weren't just predators who ate predators. They were teachers who showed others a better way. "To think," Sumin said to Jiho, "all this started because we eat sharks and tigers." "No," Jiho corrected her. "It started because we know food is more than just eating. It's about bringing people together." As the stars shone outside, the galaxy was at peace. Humans had proved that even the fiercest hunters could learn to cook, share, and make friends. Dumai wrote her final research note. Humans, the species that turned predators into chefs and hunters into teachers. The galaxy's greatest surprise.